everyone, my name is Minisethi. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about theories of international trade for UGC NET in commerce. Under classical theories, we will study about mercantilism theory, absolute cost advantage theory, comparative cost advantage theory. Under modern theories, we will study about Hexer-Ohlin theory, or we can say the factor proportion theory, and the product life cycle theory, Porter national competitive theory, country similarity theory, and global strategic rivalry theory. One by one we will discuss about each theory. First classical theory is mercantilism theory. According to this theory, we can maximize our wealth and power through promoting export and reducing import. According to this theory, we can maximize our wealth and power through promoting export and reducing import. And aim of this theory is a surplus balance of payment. And this theory believe on a zero-sum game. That means benefit of one country is loss of other country. As we know, export are beneficial for our country, but import are harmful for our country. If one country increasing its export, that means it will directly lead to increase in import of other country. So we can say that one country is getting benefit at the expense of other country. It will be called zero-sum game. And according to this theory, at international trade, one country can get benefit at the expense of other country. And this theory believe on a government intervention. That means this theory depend on government intervention to manipulate trade patterns, achieve a surplus balance of trade. Second classical theory is absolute cost advantage theory. Absolute cost advantage theory is given by Adam Smith in his book named Wealth of a Nation. Absolute cost advantage is ability of one country to produce goods more efficiently and at lower cost as compared to other country. Absolute cost advantage is ability of one country to produce goods more efficiently and at lower cost as compared to other country. And according to this theory, a country should increase production and export of those goods in which they have absolute cost advantage. For example, we have two countries, India and USA. They are producing two goods, tea and melon. With 8 hours of labor, India can produce 20 units of tea. With the same 8 hours of labor, USA can produce only 5 units of tea. That means India can produce tea more efficiently and at lower cost as compared to USA. Or we can say that India has absolute cost advantage in production of tea. That's why according to this theory, India should increase production and export of tea. On the other hand, here you can see with 8 hours of labor, India can produce 10 units of melon, but USA with the same 8 hours of labor can produce 20 units of melon. That means USA has absolute cost advantage in production of melon. That's why USA should increase production and export of melon. Next classical theory is comparative cost advantage theory. This theory is given by David Ricardo. According to this theory, trade should be based on comparative cost advantage, and we can receive comparative cost advantage by producing goods at lower opportunity cost. According to this theory, trade should be based on comparative cost advantage, and we can receive comparative cost advantage by producing goods at lower opportunity cost. What do you mean by opportunity cost? Opportunity cost means the loss of other alternative when one alternative is chosen. For example, in order to produce one mobile, USA has to do sacrifice of 3 tablets. That means opportunity cost of producing one mobile is sacrifice of 3 tablets, because opportunity cost means the loss of other alternative when one alternative is chosen. So in order to produce one mobile, USA has to do sacrifice of 3 tablets. But in order to produce one mobile, UK has to do sacrifice of only 2 tablets. So here you can see opportunity cost of producing one mobile is less in UK, because UK is doing sacrifice of only 2 tablets, but USA is doing a sacrifice of 3 tablets in order to produce one mobile. That means opportunity cost of producing one mobile is less in UK. That's why according to this theory, UK should increase production and export of mobile, because UK has less opportunity cost as compared to USA. Now we will see modern theory. First modern theory is Hexter-Ohlin theory. According to this theory, international trade occurs because countries have different resources and specialization. For example, some countries are abundant in capital, some countries are abundant in labor. According to Hexter-Ohlin theory, countries which are abundant in capital but have scarcity of labor as compared to other country, that country should increase production and export of capital intensive goods. Obviously they are abundant in capital, and they increase import of labor intensive goods from another country because they have scarcity of labor. But Leontief paradox, which is very important, reject Hexter-Ohlin theory. Leontief research was based on USA data. According to Hexter-Ohlin theory, USA, being as a capital abundant country, would expect it to increase more export of capital intensive goods and import of labor intensive goods. But Leontief research discovered opposite. Despite being a capital abundant country, USA export was more labor intensive, not capital intensive. And this direct contradiction of Hexter-Ohlin model will be called Leontief paradox. Next modern theory is product life cycle theory. This theory is given by Raymond Werner. This theory mainly talks about three stages of a product life cycle in international market. First stage is new product. In this stage, first of all, developed country will innovate a new product, and country which first of all innovate product is known as an innovative country. Suppose USA first of all produce personal computer, that's why USA known as innovative country. Initially product is very expensive, that's why developing country cannot afford this product. That's why initially USA doing export of personal computer in other developed country, which is Japan. Second stage is mature product. Now sale of innovative country will fall because now other developed country like Japan also start doing production of personal computer. As competition increase, prices fall. That means now product become affordable. That's why developing country like China can also afford this product. That's why USA and Japan start doing export of personal computer in China. Next stage is standardized product. During this stage, developing country like China also start doing production of personal computer. That's why sale and profit of innovative country fall so much. So innovative country leave this product and focus on some other product. But developing country China is producing personal computer because China has so much unused resources. As China is increasing production and export of other developed country, even China is exporting personal computer in USA also. Next modern theory is Porter national competitive advantage theory. According to this theory, competitiveness of firm at international market depend on four things. First is factor condition, that means input which is needed for production of goods and services. Demand condition, need and wants of consumer at international level. Related and supporting industries, that means supplier and complementary industries. Firm strategy, structure and rivalry. How firm internally organized or structured, what strategies they use, and rivalry among firms also influence success of firm at international level. Next modern theory is country similarity theory. This theory is given by Stephen Linder. According to this theory, countries with similar level of economic development and consumer preference are more likely to do trade with each other. According to this theory, countries with similar level of economic development and consumer preference are more likely to do trade with each other. As we know, Germany, Japan and United States all are developed countries. That means economic development is same in all these three countries. That's why Germany, Japan and United States are doing trade of high quality automobiles between each other. This theory also talk about intra-industry trade. That means trade in same industry, or we can say the exchange of similar kind of product between countries. For example, Germany export luxury car in Japan. Simultaneously, it import different models of car from Japan. That means they are doing a trade in same industry, which is automobile. It will be called intra-industry trade. Next modern theory is global strategic rivalry theory. This theory is given by Paul Krugman and Calvin Lancaster. And this theory focuses on MNC. MNC means multinational corporation. This theory focuses on MNC and their efforts which they do in order to gain competitive advantage at international level. This theory focuses on MNC and their efforts which they do in order to gain competitive advantage at international market. This theory also talks about barriers, or we can say obstacles that firm face when they are going to enter at international level. These barriers are research and development, intellectual property right, economics of scale, business process, method, experience, access to raw materials. And this theory also talks about how MNC can gain competitive advantage. They can gain competitive advantage through product differentiation, brand recognition, technological innovation, and efficient production process. So this is all about theories of international trade. I think you got it, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, take care.